Hey guys, Growth Network, another episode coming at you as promised. This episode's going to be I'm going to be discussing apprenticeships, specifically a building apprenticeship. I've been in the industry for over 20 years. I've done my apprenticeship and I've seen a few things, and these are my sort of tips for you if you're wanting to get involved in that space or you know someone that wants to as well. So the first thing I can say is what to expect. Expect to be going to work at 7:30 and finishing at 5. So it's a long day. So if you're not up to those hours, then I would suggest don't take up a trade or any type of trade. I didn't know what to expect when I went into it, and that was the first thing that I noticed. Like, you got to get there early and you're having long days, so make sure you take lunch. Expect that. And all because your day starts at 7:30. These are typical New Zealand hours, by the way. Your day starts at 7:30. That doesn't mean you turn up at 7:30. It means that you're getting there at 7:15, 7 o'clock. You're getting yourself ready for the day, and you're physically starting to work at 7:30. Meaning you've got all your tools on. You know what job that you're doing for the day, and you're ready and you're getting stuck into it. And then you're finishing at 5. So that's number one. Number two is it's hard work. Expect that it's going to be hard work. You're going to be doing, especially in the building game, concreting, bricklaying. All those sorts of roles, they're physically tough on the body. So, it could be a good thing too. It builds a lot of strength. You get a lot of strength out of that as well. But also look after your body. And number three, it's going to take you about 4 to 5 years. Okay? So those are your what to expect sort of tips. It's going to take you 4 to 5 years to finish an apprenticeship, depending on how fast you progress. But expect that that's the time frame. So if you're looking at taking up an apprenticeship, that's the number one thing that you must realize first, as it's the early mornings, late finishes, the hard work, and also how long an apprenticeship actually takes. Generally, it's around 4 to 5 years. So my first tip to you is just turn up. The hardest part I noticed for people is actually just turning up and going to work. If you can tick that box, your boss would be so happy with you. If they need you there for a whole week and then you don't turn up on a Monday and a Friday and that starts becoming a habit, they pick up on those habits and it's likely that you're not going to have your job. The hardest thing the biggest thing that I noticed for my staff when running my business was when I had organised the job for someone to be there and then they didn't turn up on that day for whatever reason it is. If you get sick, you get sick. If someone's passed or if they've got family issues and things going on in your life, totally understand. Let your boss know way in advance as much as you can, whether it's the night before, never the day off. Like, unless there's no way of telling, you don't know if you're going to wake up and you're sick or not. But sometimes, a lot of the time, it's self-inflicted. And I know that because I was like that too. Self-inflicted sickness. So, or you just can't be bothered, or you're lazy. So, the number one tip is to turn up. It's the number one thing. That's all your boss needs. Just turn up. If you're not there, they can't teach you. So the number one thing is that they need you to be there. I'll give you an example. Let's say I had a team of 6 people, and I had 2 jobs going or 3 jobs going. And I had an apprentice on one of my job sites that was partnered up with a builder. That apprentice rings me or texts me at 7 o'clock in the morning or 7:15 in the morning, which is when he's meant to be at work, saying he's sick, he can't make it in today. Now I've got to try and shuffle around my whole day to get someone on board with the builder that's there on his own, because he probably needs a hand lifting something heavy, so he can't do anything on his own. So it stuffs the whole day up. But if you tell me the night before, then I can say to the builder, hey bro, I'm just going to postpone that one and we're going to move you over to another job, so that essentially we've got more hands on another job, or vice versa. And then I can let the client know, because that's what goes through the boss's mind, is like, the client's not going to be happy. So that's my number one tip to you, is actually just turn up. Number 2 is you're going to get the shit jobs. You're going to start sweeping the floors. You're going to get real basic stuff to do. And don't think you're too good to do that stuff. Everyone started there. If you show a good attitude and you sweep the floor so efficiently, and your boss walks around, or your manager or your foreman walks around and goes, man, there's not a dust in sight, then he has no choice but to move you on to another job. And if you're doing that properly, efficiently, then he'll probably think to himself, oh, this guy's, he's switched on. Like, if you can get through this quick, I'm going to give him something harder to do to see what his levels are. All of those jobs are just tests to see where you're at. So if you get a job of sweeping the floors and you got an attitude of thinking, oh, I'm too good for this job. Why do I have to sweep the floors? Like, bro, that's what you got to do. And if you got an attitude like that and then you take all day to sweep the floors, then you're just going to be getting sweep the floors pretty much until that attitude changes. That's the test. So make sure you have a good attitude with all the crappy mundane jobs that you think are they're not helpful. They actually are very helpful. If a client walks onto a job site and the house is spick and span, it's tidy, that is such a good look on your boss and their company. And also, when you're working on a clean job site, it makes everything so much easier because you can see what's going on. If there's shit everywhere, it's harder to work with. And to be honest, if there's shit everywhere, that is a reflection not only on your boss, but it's actually you. You're not doing your job properly. Cleaning up a job site is not that hard, so have a good attitude for all those shitty, crappy jobs. I'll give you an example. So I was sort of at the end of my apprenticeship, I think, and we had this middle-aged, he was sort of mid-20s, guy who just started an apprenticeship. He just started with us. It was his first day. So he's got a bit of a background in other things, but he just started, and his first job was to go and nail off some hardware. This sort of job would normally take an apprentice around half a day to a full day, depending on the person's attitude. 1 hour later, he comes and taps us on the shoulder and says, oh, I'm done. And we're like, hey, fuck, that was fast. So we went around the job site, we had a look around to double check his work, and we were just like, oh man, he actually is done. He's done a good job, he's done it fast. And we knew from that day, this is his first day, that this guy's got a good attitude, we can give him harder jobs. So he moved up the ladder real quick because of that. And maybe because he was in his mid-20s, he had other background in a different industry, but it all goes down to attitude. It's not hard to nail off brackets. It's just getting in there and getting it done. So that's an example. All right, number 4 is your pay is not going to be the best. And the reason why it's not going to be the best is because you're getting trained while you're working and you're getting paid. So what I mean by that is, whoever the foreman is, the manager or the owner or the boss, they're taking time out of their day, which is slowing down their production, to make sure that they're teaching you the skills that you're going to need over that 3 to 5 years. So that's the reason why you're getting paid, because it's costing them in production. So yeah, if you think that, oh, I'm not getting paid enough, that's why. It's because it's costing them time and money to get the actual jobs done to train you. All right. The other good thing about doing a building apprenticeship or any type of apprenticeship is it's paid training. So instead of going to Wintec to study to be a doctor or like those type of jobs, or a physiotherapist, a nurse, you actually have to pay to be trained, but you don't get paid while you're doing it. In a trades career, you earn money while you're learning. So that's a great thing, I believe. So that's the reason why you don't get paid as well as a general labourer. And sometimes you'll get a bit envious of labourers because they come on site, they're earning pretty good money compared to you. But remember, they're not in training, they're not getting a certificate after they're finished. They're essentially just the labourers, and they're just going to go from labouring job to labouring job to labouring job. Your goal and your focus is to, after 4 to 5 years, is to be a certified carpenter or a certified plumber or whatever it may be. All right? So that's the benefits to doing an apprenticeship. Number 5 is build yourself a tool arsenal. So throughout your apprenticeship career, right from the outset, as soon as you've got signed that paper of that document to say that you're undergoing an apprenticeship, ask your boss, if they don't have one already, to take some money out of your pay so that you can go and purchase tools from their merchants or their suppliers. and build yourself an arsenal. Don't rely on the company's tools or your friends' tools or your people you're working with tools. Just build your own. It's so important for when you get towards the end of your building career, because it's going to cost you around 30 grand all up to like build you a good arsenal of tools that you're going to need. So if you finish your apprenticeship and you have no tools at all, then you have to try and find 20-30 grand to like buy all the tools that you're going to need. So if you're buying them slowly over your career and you have it at the end, then there's that upfront cost you don't need to worry about. So that's tip number 5. Build yourself a tool arsenal. And another reason why goes on to tip number 6. I highly recommend doing like side jobs. And you're probably around a 3-year apprentice by now, and you're pretty confident in yourself that you know how to build a deck or do fences or do the small jobs that are not too hard, and people are going to start tapping you on the shoulder, mainly family and friends, to see if you can help them around their house. If you have your own tools, then you're able to do that, because your boss isn't going to let you borrow them in the weekend, because that's his assets that he's built up to build revenue for his company. And then if you go and use it on the weekend and break it, then that's actually now something he has to buy again so that he can carry on working. So if you have your own tools, then you're able to take on side jobs. And the reason why you want to take on side jobs is because you learn other skills. So you learn how to measure and quote. So you're starting to learn how to or how much timber you need for a deck, or how much concrete goes in that hole, how much it costs. So you're actually training yourself for when you become, you're either your own business owner or your own boss. You're actually learning skills through your apprenticeship by doing these side jobs for other family and friends. So I highly recommend you doing those. And also the money you make from there, you can use that to go and buy yourself some more tools. So remember, when you're doing a building apprenticeship, you got to understand what to expect. It's a 4 to 5 year commitment. So because you've told yourself that you're going to take up this 4 to 5 year commitment, you've told yourself that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be a builder. I'm going to be a plasterer. I'm going to be a brickie. I'm going to be a plumber. I'm going to be an electrician. You've told yourself. So get all the things that you need in your 5-year plan, so that when you're finished and when you've achieved your goal, now you're ready for the next step. So that moves on to my next tip, which is tip number 7, I think. Lost track. Is at the 3rd year mark, there's a bit of a trend I noticed in the 3rd year mark, because you start getting confident. You're doing all these side jobs, and you get a little bit of an attitude because you think you know it all now. And you think that I don't really need my boss anymore, because I can go and do this on my own. Not everyone's like that, but I have seen that happen. Like, not in my own company, but like just throughout my career. People get this thing of like they think they're qualified already, and then they end up bloody leaving they think there's greener pastures, and then they don't end up finishing their time because of it in a lot of instances. So my advice to you is to remember, your boss took a chance on you. Your boss sacrificed 2.5 years of training you all of these skills, taking time out of his day, costing him efficiency in his business to train you for the upside of one day that you're going to be able to do these jobs on your own for your boss. So just remember that and show your respect to your boss as you progress in your career. So that's a bit of a tip to you, especially if you want to complete your apprenticeship. Sometimes when you go to another company and then you end up jumping from company to company, and then you don't end up finishing your apprenticeship. Yes, you're gaining the experience, but you don't end up finishing it. So that's tip number 7. And tip number 8 is to have a plan for when you're finished. After your 4 to 5 years, what's your plan? Are you going to move up the ladder, become foreman, support your boss? If you've got a good boss, then that's probably what you're going to do. If you've got a good attitude, he might cut you in, I'm not sure. But have a plan for afterwards. If you want to be a sole trader, subcontractor, you want to start your own business and learn all these things, then learn as much as you can during your apprenticeship stage and ask a lot of questions that align with whatever your goal is after you're finished. So those are a few quick tips for anyone that's looking to take on an apprenticeship. And on the next episode, I might talk about starting a small building company or trades company, and advice around that as well. But yeah, these are things that I wish I sort of knew when I was going through my time. And I was lucky, I was fortunate I was with a good company, and I learnt a lot, and I had a wide range of knowledge that was passed down to me. And but yeah, I fell into the role of a builder. I didn't know I was going to be a builder. I just got a job as a labourer, and then next minute got offered an apprenticeship. Maybe because I had a good attitude, I don't know. You have to ask them that. But yeah, that's how I got into the career. So anyone that's looking, those are my 8 tips I think I covered. And thank you for your support. Have a great week.